Hello, and thank you for watching this regional forecast update for the southern U.S. I'm Andrew Pritchard, Senior Meteorologist with Nutrien Ag Solutions. Before I jump into the weather forecast content here, I want to steal a minute of your time, and I want to talk to my Nutrien Ag Solutions growers, my customers, the CPAs, folks who are accessing this regional content through the Nutrien and the Agrible customer and employee portals. I want to let you know we're going to be changing how we deliver this regional forecast content to you. We're going to be removing the Tuesday and Friday U.S. regional forecast videos and the Wednesday and Friday Canadian prairie forecast videos that I've been putting together over the last couple of years. We're going to keep the Monday and Thursday ag forecast video and the Wednesday U.S.-focused long-range weather analysis. These videos do a great job already of covering the weather systems that we're expecting across high-impact ag areas over the next several days to the next 1 to 2 weeks. So instead of creating rather redundant videos here, regional focused videos, still 10 to 12 minute long videos, broadly covering the next 5 to 7 days, instead of expending all of that bandwidth, my strengths are really in the short term, high impact forecasting weather events. So we're going to be, again, removing the videos here, but instead now when you click on your region, it's going to bring up a Nowcast page that has all of your current weather, past weather that you can look at, the future weather models. You can actually look at some of the stuff behind the scenes that Eric and I are using when we put together our forecasts. And at the top of these regional pages, every day throughout the day, I'm going to be pushing out updates on the highest impact weather events across your region. So again, instead of just waiting Tuesday and Friday for a 10 to 12 minute video giving you a vague idea, or at least not vague, maybe I'm being too hard on myself, but, belaboring some of these systems that we are already talking about in some of our other weather video content, to give you much more specific insight on the impacts of some of these weather events and some of the much more specific weather forecast expectations. So I think it's going to be a good change, one that's going to put much more useful information into your hands at a much more frequent pace, and when it's actually relevant, instead of having to wait. I wish I could tell these people about this big thing that's changed in the weather models, but I have to wait till our Friday video. Instead of that, I could just push it out immediately. So I'm going to be able to use my strengths more and deliver more useful information to you, and you're also going to get more frequent, more relevant weather updates. So I've got my email address and my social media handle at the very last slide of this video. I want to hear feedback from you. With the absence of these regional videos, what kind of things do you want me to be watching each and every day? What's most important to you as you pull up this Nowcast regional page, just to make sure that we get it right? Eric and I are going to be working on this pretty hard over the next 1 to 2 weeks. So let's go. Let's talk about the forecast then. We've got another system making its way through the central United States. Meanwhile, though, we've got high pressure over much of the southeast. We've got sunshine to start the day off from Mississippi eastward into the Carolinas this morning. We're dry across the south, a little bit of very, very, very light precipitation, some light sprinkles across portions of the Texas and New Mexico border. And then we've got some very light scattered snow flurries across portions of the Dakotas. A look at temperatures across the region. Again, sunshine from Mississippi into the Carolinas, but it is a cold sunshine. Again, some very chilly weather accompanying that area of high pressure sliding into the area. 20s and 30s for our temperatures as we get the day started. On the left, we've got the hazards map from the National Weather Service. That's showing the freeze warnings, and frost advisories across the Florida and Georgia borderline there across the Atlantic coast. And then on the right, we've got the surface analysis here on Friday morning. Again, here is the next system making its way off from west to east. The next 7 days of precipitation, again, the highest, the best chance for picking up a half an inch or more is going to be across eastern Texas, up the Mississippi Delta, into portions of western Tennessee, and then kind of along the Gulf Coast there. We'll be dry across west Texas and western Oklahoma, and then just scattered precipitation, relatively light, across the Carolinas over the next 7 days. No snow being forecast across the south, and that does include the Texas and Oklahoma panhandles as we talk about the weekend into early on Monday. Now here's the pattern. Again, we've got this kind of low circulating across the Arctic and northern Canada, with systems slingshotting around the base of that through the Pacific Northwest, down across kind of the U.S.-Canada border, and then into the midsection of the country. And we're going to take a progressively further south track as we get into next week, and then we've got a system midweek that could drop some heavier precipitation across the region. So let me hit play on this. You can see the track of these waves as they make their way in there from the Pacific Northwest, and then at times amplifying across the eastern third of the country. And that final push here, I'm going to take all the arrows off of the map. I'm going to show you this big trough that dives in mid next week, because that one is a relevant one we want to keep our eye on. It's this one right here that comes swinging around the base of that trough across northern Canada, and then deepens right here in the midsection of the country. That's going to bring a chance for some heavier precipitation. It is also going to bring a lot of cold air with it back from northern Canada into the central United States. So here's the precipitation forecast over the next week. Again, we've got a series of disturbances making their way in, most of which passing through relatively quietly, with a chance for some more soaking precipitation as we get into next week. We'll go through the day today quiet, a chance for some moisture as we get return flow across eastern Texas into eastern Oklahoma as we get into Saturday morning, pushing into Arkansas and Louisiana. This precipitation continues from west to east. This is now Saturday night into Sunday morning, and then exiting on Sunday night. This should bring precipitation to an end here as we get into Monday morning across the south. Another shot of cool air likely across the Carolinas on the backside here. We're then quiet then as we head through Monday night into Tuesday. Quiet Tuesday night into Wednesday. Our next storm system comes swinging in Wednesday into Thursday of next week. Very similarly, looks like the precipitation gets kicked off across kind of eastern Oklahoma into eastern Texas, and then continuing from west to east across the region then. Chance for some snow across portions of Kentucky and Tennessee as very, very cold air comes in on the backside here, but we'll talk about more specifics with this storm system and its precipitation as we get into next week. But this is, again, a Thursday-Friday system that brings some soaking rains from portions of Mississippi eastward into the southeast, the Carolinas, and a shot of some cold air. Who's going to get snow, though, before now and Christmas Day? Well, of course, we're going to be a little bit unseasonably mild as we head into next week, so we're not going to be bringing any snow down into areas that wouldn't typically expect that. And talking about the southeastern United States here, the probability of picking up an inch or more of snow between now and Christmas Eve, you have to head all the way to the Canadian Prairie, to portions of northern Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Michigan. Even the Midwest here are going to be looking at a cold, brown Christmas in 2020. Here's your total snowfall forecast, just verbatim from the European operational model. Again, some snow in the higher elevations of the Appalachians, nothing elsewhere across the south or across southern portions of the Midwest. Total liquid precipitation between now and Christmas Eve, December 24th. Different story here, though, when we're talking about rain instead of snow. The next two systems here, this one that we get going here Friday night into Saturday, and then the one that we've got Wednesday night into Thursday and Friday, the ones responsible for this swath of precipitation here. We're talking about an inch to 2 inches. Again, closer to the coast, that's where you got the better chance for the heavier soaking precipitation, approaching 2 inches or so, but continuing to be dry back across this corridor to the west. Now, again, we're starting to pool some pretty cold air again across northern Canada, and it's that system midweek that's going to tap into that and bring some of that colder air down into portions of the central and southern U.S. Between now and then, though, we'll be continuing to be relatively mild. Again, a cold start to the day here across the south. We'll still climb into the low to mid-50s by the afternoon. Here are your highs on Saturday. This is now Sunday, and we'll really start to bring the warmth northward Monday into Tuesday, knowing that that shot of colder air looms as we head into Thursday and Friday of next week.